To be called a saint, you have to have God-like qualities. Nicholas was squeaky clean. He grew up on the streets of Las Vegas, seeing nothing but double-dealing and power-hungry sociopaths run the show. It irked him to his core. He vowed to end corruption not with fighting back, but by pulling a Jesus and turning the other cheek. He figured good deeds would slowly wash away all the sins, and knew he had a chance of really making a change. This man won the biggest jackpot in Vegas history, only to go broke the next day, giving poor kids presents they could only dream about. Remember that story about Tiny Tim? Well, you may know that guy now thanks to Kris Kringle's generosity. He went on to become the CEO of Apple. This man was so damn inspiring, he became the poster boy for caring. Soon enough, he was on the cover of every newspaper worldwide. Back when print was a worthy news source, before it was riddled with corporate donations pushing their own agendas. You know that story about giving bad kids a lump of coal? Totally made up. It was a smear campaign brought to you by none other than the US government to teach the importance of listening to the powers that be. Fun fact, this is one of the first iterations of propaganda in the US news cycle. Nicholas believed that good would always win, and that there was no such thing as a bad kid. People are subjected to some pretty terrible things, and they become products of their environment. The only way to make a real change is with unconditional love. He earned the name of Saint. The problem is, after being donned such a title, you start to become a real mover and shaker. I still remember when things started to get a little shaky. For years, Mr. Claus was a model citizen, delivering kids presents every 25th of December. He was a cheery silver fox at this time, and the only real pension he had was for a cold glass of milk and some warm cookies. Remember that campaign? Milk does a body good? Well, it really hit home with him. They asked him to be the spokesperson with another legend. The National Dairy Board had it all laid out. Michael Jackson was to team up with Santa to increase milk consumption. These lowlifes knew even back then that their slogan was a crock of shit. What's even crazier is they had no clue by bringing Michael into the fold. They were letting the fox in the hen house. He too was brainwashed into thinking milk did a body good, but it was never about milk for Michael. It was all about access. He figured, what better way to please his deepest, darkest desires than through every child's favorite man? Who else could get paid to have kids sit on their lap all day long without a single person suspecting anything nefarious? Nicholas had to be just like him, but to his dismay, he wasn't. The thing about Michael is he always got what he wanted. He knew it was only a matter of time until he could get in Nicholas's good graces and teach him what true love was. It's beyond sick, and I would prefer not to discuss the details these two icons got themselves into. Let's just say they became thick as thieves in a matter of time. And while most people don't know this, Neverland Ranch was actually Santa's idea. He had been operating in plain daylight for years and convinced Michael no one would suspect a thing. It's crazy to think that in his old age, St. Nicholas became everything he had learned to hate.